All right, everybody, welcome to the Heedy post game show. It looks like that camera won't work, but I'll just leave that on there for now. Oh boy, as the title said, one step forward, two steps or more back. I had the more, of course, but that's how it feels right now with the Angels and their series in Toronto. They lose today 6-1. The win goes to the pitcher that came in from Manoah Cabrera. Detmers gets a loss. He goes to 2-8. The Angels now fourth in AL West, 54 and 51. The Blue Jays now five ahead of the Angels in the wild card standings, 59 and 46. So many factors of who to blame, but we'll get through that as we review the game. I'm in for Todd today and tomorrow, and then we'll see how Monday goes, and then the trade deadline will come up, and we'll see how that all goes through. So again, the Blue Jays win 6-1. They take the series. The final game tomorrow, of course, at 9 a.m. on the Peacock app, and then I'll have the post game show for that. Let's get to the key moments of the game. So, top of the fifth, no score. Taylor Ward was hit by a pitch. Looked like it hit off the flap, or not the bill of the helmet, and then it ricocheted and hit Ward in the nose. It was a big crack, and then blood was spilling out, and he had to get carted off, which I thought would have happened. Both training staffs came out to tend to him, so that was very unfortunate. And yeah, we hope everything will be okay with Taylor Ward. His breathing, definitely needs stitches and possibly surgery. We'll find that out. So there was a chance it was 1-0, Angels in that time. Seems like the Angels had bases loaded. Once there, and then they couldn't score anymore. So that was unfortunate. That seems to be a thing going on lately with the Angels, bases loaded, but nobody coming home. And that really is unfortunate to see. Okay, so in the bottom of the fifth, that's where things started to go downwards. Santiago Espinal hit his second home run of the season off of Detmers. It was just too much of a ball middle in, and Espinal took it to left to make it 2-1. Blue Jays, let's see. Renfroe doubled back in the top of the sixth, but nothing came about with that as Escobar swung on a miss. Moniak made the third out, but the umpire's zone, just like yesterday's umpire, was really bad behind home plate, and that was really, really bad. You can question the umpires, you can question the players. It's just all these things going bad at one time. So that was a big moment in that game. In the bottom of the seventh, Alejandro Kirk hit his solo shot to make it 3-1, his fifth off of. I can't tell who it's off of, but we'll find that out later. Whit Merrifield doubled home. Kittemeyer to make it 4-1. Just key guys getting it done for the Blue Jays. And then Alejandro Kirk hit his second home run of the game, his sixth home run to left field. That one with the man on, Danny Jansen, who also homered yesterday, I should say. And it was a thing, too, and I was listening to the Jays television crew, and they were mentioning, how both catchers are out there in the lineup, and it's a risk, but they have Varsho to be the emergency catcher. But you would never see that done, and the Blue Jays are doing it because those are, possibly the hottest hitters in the lineup right now on the team. So when we always talk about the Angels and and this is what I think, and what I think maybe most of you and the Heedy crew thinks. It's like, hey, if you need to get right, hopefully the Angels will be on your schedule soon. You'll get it right. You'll get right against them. Your power will magically go up. Your hits will go up, and you'll pitch well. And it seems like this is happening for the Blue Jays as they are again ahead of the Angels in the wild card. Um, so the Blue Jays win 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. So the Angels 1 run, 6 hits, and no errors. Let's get to the box scores real quick as we talk about both pitchers. Uh, with Detmers, he gets a loss. He goes to 2-8. He gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run given up. That's enough to get the damn win. There's no doubt about that. Lopez came in, gave up 1 hit, but he struck out 3 batters in 1 1/3 innings pitched. He had some velocity on that fastball. That was really, really good. Then Luke came in and shit the bed, as well as Berea did as well, both giving up 2 runs each, 3 hits each, and 1 home run each. Luke did walk 2. Berea did strike out 1. Luke in 2/3 innings of work there, and Berea 1 1/3 innings of work there. Manoah was taken out after the hit by pitch on Ward. He went 4 1/3 innings. He's had a crazy season. Remember, this was a man who struggled so much. They sent him down to the single A rookie ball development league status at one point, and he's come back up to the majors. He's been up and down. And the last start he had was really good, but the last 2 weren't. And then this start was much better. His strikeout totals are going way up for Manoah. He went again 4 1/3, 4 innings, or 4 innings and 1/3, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, given up 1 run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. And then Cabrera came in and got the win. He went 2/3 of an inning, as well as Jackson, righty versus lefty in that situation. Richards came in 1 1/3 innings. He got 4 strikeouts. I mean, he shut him down. Pearson got the hold as well as Richards. And then Yimi Garcia came in to shut down the Angels in the 9th. Let's go quickly to the hitting. So Ohtani, Renfroe both had all had doubles. Excuse me. Ward drove in the Angels' only run. Looking at the box score there, it seems like Renfroe and Renfroe both have 2 hits. Ohtani and Moustakas had 1 hit each, and that was it. And I think that was mentioned by ToddFox in our chat here. Not in this chat, but in the Heedy chat. He was mentioning when Ward was taken out, why don't you put in Cabbage instead of Velasquez right away? And then later on, Cabbage was brought in as a pinch hitter for Squid. And that's something you have to wonder with the bench coach being there for this game, as Nevin was Nevin was suspended after yesterday. He flashed the tablet at the umpire walking off, I think, after the game. So Nevin wasn't there for today. Maybe that made a difference, but a lot of 0-4s in the lineup. 0-4 was Escobar, 0-3 Stefanik, 0-4 Theis, 0-2 for Ward, 0-4 for Moniak. I don't know, maybe this is just in the thick of things, but maybe Moniak isn't good enough to be the third place hitter. That's where Trout comes in, right? And that's where you would have to maybe change the lineup around just a little bit, switch Moniak with Ohtani, but now with Ward being injured, you have to bring up somebody. And we'll wonder what hitter that's going to be. Dell possibly is out there. I can see that. All right, so for the Blue Jays, their hitting went as this. Bichette and Merrifield both had doubles. Espinal, Kirk had 2 home. Espinal and he had 1 home run. Kirk had the 2 home runs. Espinal had 2 runs driven in. Kirk had 3. Merrifield had 1. The Blue Jays left 8 on, and the Angels left their customary 12 or more on, so 12 runs on. Was it Merrifield, Bichette both had 2 hits. Kirk had 3. Espinal had 1. Kierkemeyer had 1. And this is with Chapman and Guerrero Jr. and Springer all going 0-4s. And Kirk beats us. And Espinal, who had 1 home run coming into the day, hits 1 out. Kierkemeyer had a base hit. Springer struck out 3 times. Jensen twice. Chapman once. So really, their big hitters didn't kill us. Guerrero Jr. has been nothing in this series, but the Angels still lose. That's for certain. So that was really unfortunate to see. Let's check out quickly the standings as it goes. Again, with the Angels losing 6-1, they go down to 4th place now. And it's funny, too, because up until 1 o'clock, the Angels and Blue Jays were the only game going until Miami hosted Detroit. Usually Saturdays, everything is in the morning, and then there's a few night games. Because of that Fox window, you can't show anything between 4 and 7. That's understandable. But I think maybe with the summer temperatures and the fireworks, you do everything at night. You have games at night. I'm not sure. Anyway, the Angels lose. They go to 54 and 51, 4th place, 6.5 back, and then 4.5 back in the wild card in the third place of the third wild card spot that Toronto has. The Blue Jays 59-46 now, 3rd in the AL East, 5 games back at 1st place Baltimore, and a half game ahead of the wild card standings, which are taking for half game ahead of Houston, who's right there with Toronto. The Angels now 4.5, tied with Seattle. The Yankees are 3.5, and Boston's 1.5. So, and those teams still have games to play tonight. So that's what made it so imperative to win yesterday, with almost everybody except Boston losing in front of the Angels. And then Toronto, of course, beats the Angels. It's trash, basically. Oh, it's so bad. Before we get anything, though, to more of, the scores, the stats, and whatever, and your great comments, of course. Let me get to 714 tickets. If you're looking for tickets for, Angel games, Dodger games, if you have Dodger fans in your family like I do, you'll want to get them a discount, but maybe don't tell them about it, or do. But put in that code HITI for 10% off of 714 tickets in the checkout. You get a deal there. You'll get 5% cash or back on tickets for the future. So check that out at 714 tickets. A great staff there if you need to call in or go into the location today on Catella Avenue, right across from the Arrowhead Pond or Honda Center. By the way, Honda Center will have Peso Pluma and Gwen Stefani coming on in to perform. So you want to get those tickets right across the street, and then boom, go right into the Honda Center. Also, check out, before all that, go to Noble Ale Works. You'll love it there. Family-friendly environment. During Angel games, you can park, free parking there. You just got mentioned Halos in the infield, and then for $1 off certain drinks there. So check that out for more. Check out their Instagram page at Noble Ale Works, right there on Sinclair Street, just north of Angel Stadium there. Again, park there free for Angel games. You just have to mention us right there. And then also check out their specials on Instagram, on their page, on their food truck schedules. So you got to check that out. So go there, go to those places, and you'll be amazed by the savings you'll get from Halos in the Infield and our two great sponsors. So check them out for sure. All right, let's quickly get to. I should have did it during the comment or during the read, but yes, let's get to the scores around the league again. The Angels and the Blue Jays were the only game going right now, up until 4:00 here, and then later everybody else is going after that. There was, again, one game going on between the Tigers and Marlins. They will go to the ninth inning. Detroit leads Miami in Miami 4-0. Let's see. That will be the only game going on right now. Again, with the Angels losing 6-1, that completes the only game going on up until then. At 4:00, you get Nationals and Mets, but that is a delayed start, as well as the Cubs and Cardinals. Later on, of course, at 4 as well, you got the Phillies and the Pirates, Twins and Royals, Guardians and White Sox. And you'll notice the White Sox have traded 5 pitchers away the last couple, or this whole last week, I should say. That's just the way things have gone for the White Sox, and they may have more to deal. At also 4:15, Red Sox and Giants. Of course, we're all rooting for the Giants and the Padres this series. Let's see. The Rays and the Astros, that's also a huge series there. Yankees and Orioles, same thing. We're all rooting for the Orioles. 4:20, you get the Brewers and the Braves in Atlanta. The Athletics at the Rockies. 5:10, these are 5:00 games. Seattle and Arizona. Excuse me, that's really big there. 5:40, Rangers and Padres. Of course, we're going for San Diego there. And then the Reds and the Dodgers. The Reds took the first game of that series last night. That game went a little long. By the way, it seemed like the Angel game went kind of long. I think it went, 3 hours and handful of minutes, I want to say. But because of that Taylor Ward situation, getting hit in the helmet shade, and then the ball dripping down to his nose, making him bleed and taken away, that took some time. So actually 2:59, so almost 3 hours. Attendance was just 3 shy of 42,000. Again, sellout crowds all series long. People wanting to see Shohei and people supporting their wildcard Blue Jays. So that definitely was the case there. I guess, yeah, let's get you quickly to tomorrow. Let's get you to the schedule coming up. So one more with the Blue Jays. Trying to avoid the sweep on Peacock tomorrow at 9 a.m. By the way, for you early risers, be ready for that. Be prepared for that, as the game, again, on the Peacock app. And then, 3 with the Braves, 4 back home, 3 in Atlanta, and then 4 with the Mariners, and then 3 with the Giants before going back on the road. Tomorrow, by the way, Tyler Anderson will go, a lefty for the Angels, 5-2 record, and Jose Barrios, 8-7, the right-hander, the former Twin. By the way, he has 117 strikeouts, just something to look out for as the Blue Jays try to legitimately sweep the series. I'm looking at the averages against Barrios, and Shohei's hitting 438, Renfroe 429, Moustakas 300, Rengifo 750. And that's pretty much it. It's either 0-4s or never faced them for the other guys. That's going to be very tough. Against Anderson, the Blue Jays belt, of course, have faced him somewhat. Only hitting 143, though. Bichette is 2 for 2, so he's batting 1,000. Chapman's 167. Guerrero hitting 667. You figure Vlad Jr. is going to get his in this series. You really feel like maybe tomorrow that's going to be the case. Kittenmeyer's 1-for-1 against him. Kirk is 0-for-2. Merrifield 250. Springer 333. And Verjao was 500. And you would think Verjao will be in the game tomorrow for the Blue Jays starting because of, he's been on the bench, and Luke Lowe as well. So look out for that tomorrow. And also, well, I don't know if Biggio's healthy, but we'll see about that. It's really bad lately with the Angels and the hitting. And then the umpires. I have to talk about them. It seems like the umpires, the last two games behind home plate, it was Fletcher today, and yesterday was Easterbrook, and both have been off the plate. It's not a problem inside to the batters. It's been off the plate that's been the issue. And it's so bad when you have to face not only your opponent, but the umpires at the same time, and the home plate umpire. It's so disgraceful, some of these calls. And I know they don't get any punishment for the umpires, but it's just it just happens too often where there's no punishment for them if they make a bad call. There's no coming into the principal's office. None like that for the home plate umpires when they make a bad call. That seems to be the issue. Phil Nevin is, one to get hot about that only, and that's been a problem. Again, today he was suspended for today's game after showing the umpire the tablet last night, I guess, right after the game of where the pitches missed, and Easterbrook missed a lot of pitches yesterday. But the problem is the Angels with runners in scoring position. Remember, they've had the bases loaded, 4 times in the series now, and only got one in, I want to say. That's the despicable part about all this, and that makes you not want to believe in who they have now. You can't trade. And Rengifo is so up and down that you figure, okay, do you ride with him? Do you bring up Adele, or do you trade for someone who can rally this lineup up? Maybe I don't know. And then that's where the Trout factor comes in, where when you get him back, he's supposed to be that guy that drives in everybody, that rounds up the lineup very well. But yes, he has struggled with the high heat as he gets older, but I believe he still can do damage. So, or he'll walk a lot, hopefully, when he comes back. When he does come back, I'm not sure when. There was a big story coming out that the Rangers agree to deal for Max Scherzer, but he has to waive his no-trade clause. So the 3-time Cy Younger winner, again, would need to waive his no-trade clause. And then this is just a report or a source. It hasn't happened officially yet. But the Mets and Rangers might get together for a deal for Scherzer going to the Rangers. And you wonder how much young talent the Rangers really have to give up. I don't think they're going to give up, any of their talent really on the field. It's all going to just be prospects. And they had some good pitching prospects that they can probably trade out there. And Lord knows the Mets need it. So the Rangers, if any of the doubters that thought, the Rangers are going to fall, again, I thought, the Rangers would take the place of Seattle this year or get close to it, where they would miss the playoffs slightly, but now it looks like the Rangers, they're going all in. And when they made the deals for the free agent deals for Simeon and Seager, it seemed like, okay, they're going all in, and then they're going to maybe do some more. And you've seen in the past, they're not afraid to spend to Texas. And damn it, they're doing it now. So it's amazing to think what the hell is going to happen with the Rangers. if they get Scherzer. And Houston, they went out and got Kendall Graveman. He's back with the Astros. He's that one bullpen piece that they really needed too. So he's part of the White Sox trading 5 pitchers away. He was part of that carousel going out of Chicago, along with Kelly and Lynn going to the Dodgers. Of course, Lopez and Giolito going to the Angels. And I found this out today that Giolito and Lopez were both traded together from Washington to the White Sox. And it's funny, they both get traded to Chicago to the Angels together. Can't make this stuff up. That's what's great about baseball. But when the team can't hit, well, that's the lame part about baseball, I guess you could say. All right, let's get to some of these comments here, and shout out to everybody who joined in. I'll read the poll question. Marty, shout out to you. Boylan came in early to the chat. He said, get this bum Loop out of the lineup. Take Squid as well with a shitty performance today. However, best wishes for Ward and hopefully speedy recovery. It's amazing how this team makes us feel, doesn't it, Marty? Where you can rip the hell out of them, but when something bad happens like that to Ward, you feel kind of melancholy about that. That's how the Angels have made us feel. They're hot and cold, yes and no. That's definitely about that. Hayes says this win goes to the umps. And you can say that about yesterday's performance as well. Hunter, shout out to you, saying the umps were... I lost a dog crap. Marty saying we lose tomorrow, season starts next year, and it feels that way, doesn't it? It's amazing how high we felt after getting Giolito, after the sweep of Detroit, and now back to what feels like rock bottom, right? Yikes. Eddie Perez saying, looking forward to the rebuild this offseason when the Angels completely clean house. Eddie, I don't think that's going to happen. Hardy won't let that happen. He's going to try to stay competitive in this Southern California market. And there might be little clues to a rebuild, but it won't be a full one if he decides to do it just a little bit. Or he tells Perry, hey, all in, get whoever you want if Shohei leaves. It's crazy. Sean's saying at some point you have to question the players. Yeah, especially Moniak, I would say, in that third spot in the lineup. The way he's chasing after these pitches, just chasing after them, really bad. And then he gets called out on phantom third strike calls. So it's the worst of worlds for Moniak right now. And he's feeling that. And then he has to play because now Ward is out. Marty's saying their midget hits 2 bombs. Our midget Squid can't even make contact. Ain't that how it goes? Espinal and Kirk, both homer today. Kirk homers twice, by the way. And Squid makes the, I guess, routine defensive plays. Except yesterday. He made an error. And he almost made 2 errors, by the way. Marty says, Nathan, shout out to you. You had some good points yesterday, Nathan, for sure. He says, fuck, the season's over. Hunter says, terrible with runners in scoring position. Nathan makes a great point here. He says, the Angels left the bats in Detroit City, and it seems like it did. Ryan saying, Squid is a really bad omen. The moment he stepped onto the field, horrible things happened. Angels left the bases loaded, and the next inning, Detmers gave up the 2-run home run. Yeah, it's a thing, though, too, with the Angels. It's like all year long, it's been, especially with Tyler Anderson, they score 1, they give up 2 right back in the next half inning. You know, maybe it took a little longer this game, but it happened. So that could be Squid. That can be, just the pitching and not being gamers. I don't know. Robert, shout out to you, saying, for all of those who said Trout's not doing it and we don't need him, need a reality check just a bit. He just adds a layer of fear and can jumpstart an offense. We need hitters, especially now with the Ward possible injury. That's what I was saying about Trout earlier. It's like, hey, I'd like to have him back in the lineup, just to have that presence. I know he doesn't have the presence right now of Otani. You saw him get walked twice intentionally, which smart as hell by the Blue Jays after yesterday. Remember when Matt Chapman got on the manager Snyder of Toronto after the first run, a home run, saying he's the only hitter they have that's any good. Why are you pitching to him? And you saw that today. Well, they didn't pitch to Shohei all too much. AC saying the roller coaster continues and not at Disneyland or not. For sure. Robert also says lack of coaching too. Why groove a fastball 3-1 count by Detmers after it was a long inning? Coach needs to slow the game down. Talk the walk. Live walk. Live. What? Okay. Lack of coaching too. Why groove a fastball in a 3-1 count by Detmers after it was a long inning? Coach needs to slow the game down. Talk the walk. Live another hitter. Maybe he gets his 2 more innings. Yeah, that was tough coming after the delay of Ward and then going out there. But yeah, that 3-1 fastball, middle in, hitter's delight. That was really bad. Hunter says, let's climb up starting tomorrow, hopefully. It's going to be a tough climb. It's Mount Everest. When you talk about the Braves coming up on the Angels' radar. Eric saying, so no calls in tonight. No, I don't want to give out my personal number. My phone's charging over there. And then I don't know if you guys would be able to hear it. And then so Todd will be back on Monday with all those calls. Ryan R says Lopez looked good tonight. Luke returned to his shit form. Hot and cold. He was going well for a while. I mean, no runs given up for a while. Ugh. Silent E says a lot of swings at pitches, not in the zone, like I mentioned with Moniak. Decent amount of first pitch swinging outs. Those are the worst, by the way. And Ward leads the world with those lazy ass pop ups on the first pitch. I hate those. I hate those so damn much. Remember, he came in spring training, guys. Ward was saying, "Oh, I'm going to swing at everything that looks like a strike." He literally went through with that. No one's told him to stop. Not Marcus Thames, not Phil Nevin. No one's told him to do the opposite, where you work counts. That goes to coaching, back to coaching again. And swinging for the fences again. Yeah, that's exactly silently what the hell I'm thinking and you're thinking. Please put bat on ball and put ball in play. Don't need homers to win. Exactly. Ward will get IL'd. Who comes up? My guess is Adele, but I'm trying to remember any outfielders or infielders, they could bring up, but the only one that comes to mind is Adele. El Barto saying RRMAT. Okay. Jose saying, hopefully we don't get swept and can take at least 2, if not 1, from the Braves, and then back home and hope we can be good again. That's a big hope right now. Hunter saying Jeremiah Jackson, Renifo, if trade away, I guess. So bring him up. Jackson, maybe the one, yeah. El Barto saying if we lose tomorrow, we will for sure get swept in the ATL or outside of the ATL, just being realistic. And you're only right about that, El Barto. Ryan R says if anyone deserved that hit by pitch, it's Squid, so he can go to the IL. And that's the only way Nevin cannot put him in the game. If he's on the IL, you know that. Tony C, umpires suck. Horrible calls. And yeah, like I said, the outside pitches, outside of the zone, it was terrible the last couple of games. Showtime fans saying, prepare to be swept. Yeah. Hunter saying Stamos. Oh, I forgot about the awards, but Stamos for the umps for giving a game to Toronto, but not saying we win, but still. Yeah, okay. Stamos, I'd probably give to. I want to give it to Detmers. I mean, the home plate umpire the last 2 nights as well. They can all share in. Oh no, not Stamos. I'm sorry, the Nacho nights. We'll have to go to Detmers and then Loop and Beria, and then yeah, the umps the last 2 nights. The Stamos should go to Alejandro Kirk. Remember, he was out yesterday, in the lineup today, and hit 2 home runs. So that's simple as that. Uh, for the Stamos and the Nacho night. Eric saying, is there a recap by Todd later on? No, I think he'll be back on Monday. Christopher saying, Otani will be gone after this season. It just, what could have been? Dan saying, no Neto, and they are terrible. And it seems that way, that they're really missing Zach Neto, but his back just seems to flame on him more and more. Not sure how old I am, but in '95, Gary DiSarcina went down and our 10-game lead over Seattle vanished. That was August. Yeah, and I've heard about that season, and Todd has filled me in. I'm 33, but I didn't get into, baseball too much until '98, and then it was spring training of 2002. Literally, I got into the Angels, and maybe it's because of the change of color, but of course something special happened that year and the years following. Not much sense, but you can tell how much of a fire starter Neto is, and how much everybody already rallies around him, even as a rookie. And I know DiSarcina wasn't a rookie that year, but maybe not the same impact, as stat wise. But when you have a guy you can rally around and he's not there, the whole team just seems to crumble, and that's what's going on right now. Silent E saying they need to take what we can get, and they're not. Runners in scoring position has been an issue all season, and swinging at bad pitches. The hitters do not need to be so aggressive for the fence. And that's the issue with the analytics now. Everybody's saying you can hit this guy out, or that means more runs if you hit it over the fence. And all you need is just singles, doubles, try to leg out triples, try to get a bunt single. But everybody's on that launch angle, Kubali's. Robert Sixta, shout out to you, saying Blue Jay player Matt Chapman basically gave the blueprint for beating the Angels. Just take the bat out of Shohei Otani's hand. No shot. Jay's pitcher Barrios giving him anything to hit tomorrow. And that's a smart way of doing it, Robert Sixta. The umpire, Dan Rio saying umpires sucked ass, no accountability. They can do whatever they want, and we'll never get a suspension or a day off. Such bullshit. And that kind of reminded me, and I saw Angel Hernandez in a minor league game umpiring, and I was wondering where he's been. But I don't know if everybody here remembered when Joe West and Angel Hernandez are both on the same umpiring crew. And for years, they were just terrorizing players and managers with their horrible, horrible ways of umpiring. It was about them instead of the game. We shouldn't know who the hell you are. But they made their names for themselves. They were just awful umpires. The way they would go about controlling the games, controlling the players, it was despicable. And they finally broke those two guys up, but then they went on to infect the rest of the league and future umpires that would come up and umpire. So I blame those two, among others. I know Crawford back in the day was really bad. Not so much Eric Gregg. Bob Davidson was one of those bad umpires that made it more about him than the game. I'm sure there's a long list. C.B. Buckner in a quiet way has done that. Laz Diaz. If there's ever someone who will just start something just for fun, it's him. Among all the others that I mentioned. There's some bad ones. And now you have a lot of the old I think half of the old umpires are retired, it seemed like. So we have a lot of new ones coming up. And you can see they're not experienced as well as the other ones. And you can see that by maybe some of the strike zones, maybe some of the leashes that are not given out. Maybe see that with the new umpires. Robert Brooks saying, no more trades, please. Well, how are we supposed to get better? I got to believe Perry's got some more up his sleeve. I have to believe that. Especially with the Rangers getting Max Scherzer. I mean, they already started way before this with Chapman, Texas, getting him. And then you have Giolito Lopez going to the Angels. And then the Rangers said, hey, we have to make a deal to counter. And possibly they're going to do that with Scherzer. And then the Angels would have to strike back. Anyway, Mika O saying, love Ohtani, but after today's game, why would anybody ever pitch to him again? He's getting the Barry Bonds treatment. R. Rob saying, at this point, we need Mark. We need a Mark Canha. That'd be amazing to think that he was the A all those years, and everybody didn't like him as an Angel fan because he would lean into pitches and be a pest for against other teams, but you would love having him as a teammate. Sometimes you need those moves, though. I totally get it. So maybe, I don't know if see what Nets want to give up for him, but it would be a little. Hopefully, don't give up too much. Richard Brooks saying this is not steam ready for a serious. This is not a team ready for a serious run. That's what you said. Robert said also need Hader in that pin. That would be something. The Padres, with them so many games out, you have to figure Snell, Hader, Soto. I don't know if they'll get rid of Soto because they traded a lot for him. But you have to think San Diego's really thinking about blowing it up. Maybe. And Richard Brooks saying what I thought he said. Jesus, shout to you saying, I think Artie Moreno needs to re-sign Shohei Ohtani, fire Phil Nevin, and get a real manager for the Angels. And in my opinion, Ron Washington. He's a third base coach with the Braves. He has a connection with Perry Manazian. I think it's a no-brainer. You need someone who's fiery, who'll bring some of that winning culture to the Braves. I mean, from the Braves to the Angels as Perry. That's got to happen. Robert Sixta saying, give me an honest opinion, James. Were you really that impressed with the Blue Jays today? Honestly, I wasn't in both Game 1 and Game 2. The Angels honestly beat themselves. The long game screwed by the umpires. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'll say that's a true opinion. That's an honest opinion by you, and I'll concur with that. Just because, hey, Chapman, yeah, you heard us yesterday, but Vlad Jr.'s been nothing this series. Springer hasn't been anything much this series. He's been frustrated, you could tell. So when the big boppers aren't doing anything, and Biggio isn't there, and Bichette's not doing that much, and you're letting the other guys beat you, and you're not scoring runs, and you're leaving runners on, and the umpires are screwing you. Yeah, that's a true statement. So I agree with you on that. Jesus says, so DFA Squid, call up Jeremiah Jackson or another shortstop. Corinne Paris, but I don't think he's ready. Jesus also says the Angels need DFA Tyler Anderson. Why Angels signed him for 2 more years? What the F? Yeah, that was a 3-year deal, and it's not looking good. It didn't look good after the first month, 2 months. It was like, oh no. Robert Six is saying it was painful to see Squid do nothing today. What happened to Le'Veon Soto? Do you know if we still bring him up, especially if Nettle's out? I'm thinking he's out of options, or if you bring him up, you have to calm down again, and that's what I'm thinking. That he'd be low on options. And with a plethora of other infielders you already have, you don't want to risk that. That's all I can think of. But I might be wrong on that, but who knows? Let's see. Mick CK, shout out to you yesterday in the chat putting in work. He said, or they say, I don't like putting that on young players still learning how to play in the bigs. However, missing scoring chances multiple times hurts. Double-edged sword right there, that's for sure. Dan Reel saying Angels just hit the iceberg and now taking on the water. Women and children first on the light bulbs. Everybody else for themselves. Jack. Showtime fan saying to Jesus, Otani isn't going to sign with the loser team. It certainly feels that way. Tony C saying umpire sucks. Showtime reiterates to Jesus on Otani not resign with the Angels. Yes. Andy Fletcher not related to Jeff Fletcher or David Fletcher. Real Master reiterates the home plate umpire's name. Yay. On that note, I think we'll get out of here. As enjoy your drive on the 405 back home from wherever you may be. Let's get to the question jerk. I put in, are the Halos done after today? 56% says C, 33% says no, and then 11% says no say. So I don't know. So 55 votes, and shout out to everybody who participated, who watched, who commented. Thank you for joining us on the post game show again. In for ToddFox is James here. I'll be in tomorrow afternoon, and then Monday will be an interesting day, as well as Tuesday with the trade deadline and the series with the Atlanta Braves. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go out, not think about baseball for a little bit, have some fun. We'll see what moves are made, and then we'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. And hopefully the Angels can avoid the sweep. I doubt it. Everyone take care. Go Halos, please, for once.